Hello everyone. Today I'm going to start with a new topic, that is business and its types. That means what are the types of business activities. Now first, I've already made the video. If you've not seen, please check the previous videos in which I have already explained what is a business, what are its characteristics, right? How does a business work? Now, if we want that, what are the types of business? Because business is also segregated into a lot of many types. So the first type is industry and the second type is commerce. As we have studied that business is production, distribution and exchange of two things, of goods and services. So if we just want to split out these two terms, industry will deal in goods and commerce will deal in the services. So goods and services, the conceptualization comes here that we can segregate it. Goods are what? They are tangible things, right? Goods we can see, we can touch, right? You can actually have the physical appearance of these things. That is called tangibility. And if we talk about service, what is it? It is intangible. You can only feel the service, you cannot touch it, right? So this is what, that if we want to split out the terms of business, it is divided into two types, that is industry and commerce. Now what is actually a industry? Industry is what? It is actually a manufacturing concern. Industry is what? Where things are actually processed, right? So manufacturing is being done. Now if we have further segregations, you can see that industry can again be split out in three types, right? The first is the primary industry, then it is the secondary industry, third one is tertiary industry. So we will be studying all those also. The first one lies is primary industry. Now the name itself suggests primary, that is the first step, right? Secondary, the second step, and tertiary is the extra things which are left out. So this is tertiary industries. Now first talking about the primary industries. These are those industries which deal in the purchase or sale or maybe reproduction of only things which have an agricultural value, or you can say the plants and animals, right? What are they? They are the natural things, right? That means we can actually artificially we can recreate them, but still they are the natural resources. So primary is what? Where we are trying to use the raw material should be what? It should be natural resources, and the further production part is done or the reproduction part is done. That is what? That comes under primary. Now primary has further two segregations. Number one is genetic, this which I was talking about. Genetic is what? Where the plants and animals, the species of plants and animals are reproduced and then they are further sold or anything like that. For example, we can take up some example like you might have seen plant nurseries, right? What do? They have a plant and then they cut out some small stems or some parts of that, some seeds are taken out from a main plant and then small other plants are grown. That is what? Genetically we are trying to make more species, right? For example, another example can be poultry farms, right? Or animal husbandry. Many people use these cattle field and then they do business with those only. So that means here the raw material is not any non-living thing, it's a living thing, that is animals, right? So they are trying where they can actually make the benefit of these natural things and then they can produce something new. And the second part of this, that is the primary industry only, it is extractive. So extractive gives you that extracting something. Now extracting from where? Extracting here means that you are trying to extract from again any of the natural things like soil, right? So if you extract something from soil, it means you are actually trying to sow some things and then you are growing them and then selling them. So that is what? That is agriculture. Okay, the second thing which we can use is mining, right? We can also use the land. Then you might have seen that people have coal mines and all those businesses, they are extracting it, right? Fishery is a business, fisheries, and it is done with the help of water. So water is also a natural resource. So here soil, land, water, they help us to do certain businesses in which some type of extraction is done from that specific part, right? So this is what, this is extractive industry. Now coming to the next type, that is secondary. Secondary comes from which word? Second. Now these things will be used as the raw material and then we will be making something new. That means the processing will be done, but the processing raw material shall come from behind. So the things which are produced in the primary are used as raw material in the secondary one. For example, we can take like sugar industry, right? Sugar industry uses what? Sugar cane, which is coming from agriculture. So this is the secondary step. Now if you have seen that sugar cane, what happens is when the sugar cane is actually grown, this sugar cane is used and the maximum, you can say, the quality juice is used to produce sugar, and whatever bagasse is left, the things which are left is called bagasse. It is used for preparing alcohol, right? So this is what, there is secondary step of making that sugar cane and then it is further used to make sugar. Now other industries which we can understand is cement, right? Cement is also what, here also again you have to do certain types of further processing needs to be done. Textiles, right? So the clothing and everything is done there. Also there is some kind of, you have to process the things. That means just the raw material cannot become finished goods. You have to proceed them with some one or two or other processes and then you can make these goods at a secondary level. Now coming to the tertiary things. Tertiary is what? It is actually, now this and this is actually same. So service class or service sector you can say. So tertiary is what? Where the services are provided. Now services can be like you might have seen, banking is called a service. That means you are a businessman, you want money but you don't have money, right? So you have to take a loan and you need banking service, or you can say banking facility. So this is a banking service. Now many people are afraid of taking any risk, then they can cover it with the help of insurance facility or insurance services there. You don't have any place to keep your finished goods, you can use warehousing services, right? Transportation, you don't have your own distribution channel and you cannot transport the goods, you can use transportation service. So these are what, these are different types of services. Like advertising, right? You cannot create the advertisement by yourself, so you are using it as a service. So this is what, these are the 5 service sector. Now coming to commerce. Commerce can again be split into 2, which is trade and aids to trade. So commerce has its own 2 branches. So it includes trade and the other one is aids to trade. Now trading here means what? Trading means that you have to sell your goods. Now selling goods can be, again we can split it into 2. That is, you want to sell it in within India, that is within your country, or in the foreign country. So this will give out you 2 names. That is, you want to do domestic trade, that is you want to sell your goods within India, or you want to do foreign trade, right? So this is the segregation which you can make according to the selling and distribution of your product. So domestic, you can understand that the goods are sold within the country, like wholesale trade, right? Domestic is what? When within the country. So wholesalers are the people who are doing this business, or retail trade, retailers are doing this business. So domestic trade is when the goods are you can say processed in our country and again sold in our country only. So wholesale trade and retail trade helps you that you can serve as a link between the producer and the customer, and these two people help to distribute the goods from the producer to the seller. And now coming to the foreign trade. Foreign trade is what? It is of three types. One is importing goods, that means the goods are coming from some other country in our country. The second one is export trade. Export is what? When we make the goods but we sell it to other countries, like India. India is the first or you can say the largest exporter of tea leaves. Tea, right? Jabki it is grown only in 2 or 3 places like Assam, Darjeeling, right? There are only 2-3 places where you find that the tea leaves are grown, but it is exported and plus it is consumed in India also. So the largest producer of tea leaves is India, right? Import, export, and the third one is entrepot. Now entrepot is what? When we bring goods from one country to our own country but we don't use it, and from the ship only we sell it to some other country, say Bangladesh, right? So what we are doing is we are bringing goods from some other country but we are not using it, and we are exporting it to some other country. So this gives you what? It's entrepot. You just earn the commission over here. So it's ENTREPOT, entrepot. The next part is aids to trade. Now aids to trade and tertiary sector, I told you that's the same thing. So all the services in which the goods are from the producer, they reach the customer. So P1 is the producer, C1 is the customer. So all the services which are required in between, that is transportation, warehousing, banking, advertising, packaging, insurance, all these services which we use, these are what? They come under aids to trade. What is actually the meaning of aids? That means helping hand, right? So here the helping hand is what? These services are helping the producer to make the goods reach the consumer's place at a convenient time. So this is what aids to trade. So this is the whole concept of business, its types, and then types of industries, and then commerce types, and then further its segregations of trade. So this is the topic actually included in class 9th also in commerce, right? And also in class 11th. So it is relevant for both the classes. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please watch other videos also so that you have good knowledge and you get good keywords from these videos. My main objective is to provide free education to all the people who cannot go tuitions or something like that. So they should they have internet, so they should use it and watch these videos or any other videos where they can get knowledge sitting at home. Thank you so much.